Thank you for watching this short video. It's video 5 of the series of Sunflowers for Peace, and the theme, compassion. What is compassion? I struggled with that many years ago. But now I think I understand it better. Having been well weathered by life's knocks and coming to the conclusion that without a love of self and an understanding of self, then one cannot have a compassionate, caring, empathic heart. Francis said, "It is not fitting when one is in God's service to have a gloomy face or a chilling look." And I feel that that's very important as part of my journey. That though I may not be feeling the best, or as my mother would say, Lord rest her, the May West, it is important to make eye contact with another. And though we may not fully understand or comprehend their situation in life and what they're going through, we can actually show compassion. We can enter into their journey. And that is one of the privileges that we have as monastics in the Teo community. Because prayer has an important part to play in our service to love. Having surrendered our heart to the Supreme, we become the prayer partner for those who are needy, not clingy, needy, for those whose lives have been traumatized by events in their life, maybe a diagnosis of cancer, maybe the loss of a loved one, even the loss of their job, relocating from one country to another. Maybe they find it difficult to live with themselves and embrace their truth, and they're struggling. Compassion, to offer compassion as a Franciscan, is to offer something more than pious platitudes. It's to hold the person's hand if the hand can be held. And it's to walk with them, to be passionate with them, not in a sexual sense, but in a sense of wanting to enter their hurt and allow that person know that we truly care. Francis is a perfect role model because his role model was Jesus, the barefoot Galilean. And Francis got great inspiration from Jesus. And that was what drew so many people to Francis. His love of life, his love of nature, and his love of people. But his love of solitude. To be a compassionate one, you must also be a lover of solitude. Many today find solitude very difficult because unless they've got their iPhone, their PC, their Walkman, whatever device they have to communicate with the outside world, they're at a loss. They're lonely without their electronic friends. To be compassionate means to have understood the true meaning. And that implies for me that you have to be broken in your ego, stripped bare of that egoic personality and identity, and having gone through the dark night of the soul and come out at the other end, it brings with it a richness, an appreciation, don't you think? That in our vulnerability, it's God's ability to use us. And I feel that compassion, for it to be effective, wholesome, in a remedial sense, must be lived. It must be lived in your life, rather than choosing a book on compassion and then reading it before meeting the person. It's working with the heart. For me, the heart is the teacher here. Because when people ring me on the phone looking for help and they're in a dreadful state, it's so easy to disembowel them. It's so easy to revert to an academic, head-centered response and start getting involved in mind games. For me, Franciscan compassion is about entering the soul, the heart of God within oneself, and asking for divine guidance, how to handle this and how to be the receiver of it for yourself, and also to be the deliverer in offering compassion to another. Compassion is a gift. It is a powerful prayer. And there's no right way or wrong way to being compassionate. But for me, it must come from the heart. As we said previously, the heart is the gateway to the soul, and the soul is the gateway to God. Because as Francis said, where there is injury, there is pardon. When we have been injured, there is pardon. When we have been broken in that negative mindset of fear, and we allow ourselves to be nurtured and comforted through the prayers of others, through the grace of God, don't you think we're in a better position to offer compassion, having received it ourselves? We understand the dynamics of it better, don't you think? So compassion is a gift. It is not a qualification. And yes, many people have the gift, but not many know how to use it. Because we're living in a culture of therapies, ologies. Everyone has a therapist. Not to have one, it's unnatural. But yet, in Franciscan spirituality, we have all that and more in the presence of God. Because when we come into that place where we can cope no more, where our back is to the wall and we are struggling, we are hurting, the most compassionate thing you can do for yourself is to surrender it to God and say, I can't cope with this. Take it from me. And that's not failure. That's exercising compassion to your heart. A great gift of love.